Oh.
Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling, craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Rest in peace, Apple, MacBook, and welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. 1 year since I dumped a pumpkin beer on my MacBook. I figured that would be the best way to start our Halloween episode, is to tell my, as I do the little
you did the sign of the cross
the
there.
little blessing to my MacBook after I dumped a pumpkin beer on it last year, and I said, I will never drink another pumpkin beer. I'm Rich.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Dolan, and you want to know what?
Mm-hmm.
It's spooky season. That MacBook has come back to life.
Oh my gosh, it's haunting us.
It's become the marketing computer.
Does it work?
Barely.
And it still smells like pumpkin beer.
Oh, wow.
Reeks of pumpkin and death.
So, if you remember last year's episode of pumpkin beers, on sometime around Halloween, right? It was sometime around that. Immediately afterwards, I had filled up, and if you watch them, you see my little Pizza Hut 8-ounce glass, that like vintage Pizza Hut.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Bud Lights have been drank out of this.
Sure.
Until I got it at a church festival many years ago. And I had it full of pumpkin beer. I was typing up something to Dolan, and I reached my hand across. It dumped onto the keyboard.
Yeah.
The entire 8 ounces dumped onto the keyboard.
Yeah, that'll happen.
You played it well. You played it well. I mean, you couldn't even really tell.
Yeah.
Or no, it happened right after the episode, or did it happen
Right after.
right after?
Right after.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It was Westo.
Oh, yeah, the
Westo
punked pie.
The punked.
That is so good, too.
Yeah, that was the bonus beer, actually. So you made it through the regular. You made it through the main course, right?
Yep. And I said, Brian, Dolan, I'm never drinking a pumpkin beer again. Well,
Over a MacBook.
I'm a liar.
Here we
That's
go.
what he meant, the asterisk there.
Well, I mean, pumpkins, apples.
Yeah.
If you gave me the choice between a pumpkin pie and an apple pie,
Yeah.
Pumpkin.
I'm going apple pie.
Ooh.
you're
All
going
day.
apple?
Oh, all day.
I'm going pumpkin.
I go pumpkin.
I hate
Yeah, would.
everything pumpkin except pumpkin beer.
You don't like pumpkin? I think we've had this conversation.
Yeah,
quite honestly, yeah.
No,
Oh,
pumpkin
man.
pie, no way.
But you
I
love
am-
cinnamon, though.
I do, but that doesn't taste like pumpkin. That tastes like cinnamon.
I am basic as it gets. I put on my Ugg boots.
I was gonna
and
say, I
drink
see
my
him over
pumpkin
there,
spice
Tom Brady.
latte, Yeah.
I saw them when you walked in. They look good.
So from Uinta.
That's what I'm going with. Uinta.
Uinta
Yeah.
Brewing from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yep.
We have pumpkin ale. Ale brewed with pumpkin and spice.
The spice is nutmeg and cinnamon, and then some pumpkin. It says on their website to serve this in a nonic glass.
What?
Nonic.
Nonic?
So that's one of those. It's like a pint glass, and then it has a little bubble. Bloop. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's the best style for this specific beer. I have one of those, I think, at home, but I did not bring it. So.
I have two of those. They're both cross-strained ones. But
Yeah,
it's
so
you get your nose in there,
yeah,
right?
so you get the aromatics
Yeah.
as you're going to drink it. It kind of opens that top up, and you get that smell. So, but the smell is amazing just out of the bottle, right?
That beer is good. Oh,
Yeah, that's a
man,
pretty
that
darn
is
good pumpkin beer.
Really?
I will say.
And then you breathe out, and you get pumpkin and nutmeg and cinnamon and...
Here's why it's good. Not necessarily the 5% or the 24 IBUs, but maybe it's because it won a silver medal at the World Beer Championships.
That,
I mean,
legit?
it has to be good, right?
Legit?
And as we're recording this, the 2021 Great American Beer Festival results came through. And Elysian won the gold medal for pumpkin beers this year out of Washington
That's
State.
the Space Dust guys, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
that was, it's called, I think, Night Owl, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
And it was their pumpkin beer, and it's fantastic, and it won the gold medal this year. So that's where we're at. So that's in a theory why these guys are good. They make all sorts of different styles of beer. They've been around a while. They also have, as most places do, a hard seltzer line.
Of course.
You have to, at least now.
Do they have a pumpkin hard seltzer?
I bet you there's some pumpkin seltzers. I know Bud Light has one. Pumpkin spice.
I'm surprised Basic over here hasn't brought us that yet.
Oh yeah,
That's that Band Packers
they've got
probably.
that. They've got that flannel looking.
Yeah, the
case.
flannel.
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
the flannel pack.
Mm-hmm.
Flanny.
Yep.
So first of all, on the bottle, it looks like a compass. Can we just go there?
Which is super fun.
These bottles are unique to them. This is a shape and size that most places don't have.
Really?
The first beer of theirs I ever had was called Hop Notch, which was an IPA. Is it on your list anywhere?
It is not.
That's one of the very first IPAs I got.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And the style of the bottle and the shape of it just fits good in your hand. And it hasn't really changed a whole lot as far as I know.
See, it reminds me of the, it's going back to the Kona Brewing bottles.
Yeah.
Like it reminds me of that.
So, and I'll get into this a little bit because the Uinta mountain range is a big part of who
Yes.
they are, right?
Yes.
And so if you look on the side of the label, it says, forget the map, pack the Uinta.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, there's a compass on the bottle. If you look like
Yep.
in the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you ever get lost,
Just hold this up.
just hold it up. Maybe drink like a ton of these and then look at the bottle.
Then you will definitely get lost.
You'll probably end up somewhere.
Yeah, you'll end up somewhere. You're right. You'll end up somewhere. I like on the label itself, it has a compass on the label itself, like on the thing. And then it shows kind of like on a graph, the hops, malt, body, and color. So you get like a visual representation of what's in the bottle.
Oh.
Low hops, like 1/4 malt.
Yep.
Maybe about the same on body, but then half on color.
Over half color.
Yeah.
And it says brewed with renewable power, wind, and solar. So one of the first out west breweries, because that's kind of a big thing on the East Coast, is going, like all natural as far as energy goes. So they're one of the first ones to do that out west. And I like that scarecrow. He's up on the top of the label and he's on the side of the label too.
You see him, and then you flip on the other side. You get like a kid, like carrying a pumpkin away, like pumpkin patch, kind of fun.
Pretty good stuff. Okay, what do you got? You want to talk about the brewery?
Absolutely. I
All
told
right.
you ahead of time. Like I really like these guys.
Yeah.
It's for so many different reasons. So I like the mountains. I like outdoors. I like hiking. I like that type of thing.
Sure.
Uinta was founded in 1993. So in American craft beer,
That's pretty old.
That's pretty old. I mean, we're not talking 1300s like last week. However, American craft beer, that goes back a little ways.
Yeah.
It began brewing beer. They began brewing beer in the winter of '93 in a renovated mechanics garage in Salt Lake City.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
We've had a couple breweries that were in garages or something like that.
You got enough space.
Yeah.
Generally, it's cheaper, right?
Yeah.
The space is cheaper. So, because that brewing equipment takes up a lot of space.
Yeah, it does.
Their flagship beer when they started was called Cutthroat Pale Ale, named after Utah's state fish.
Yeah, the cutthroat trout.
So
I
even
think that's on an Odell beer as well, if I'm not
they
mistaken.
get into Colorado quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
So the Uinta mountain range actually links up to the Rocky Mountains.
Oh, it does.
So the Rocky Mountains run north-south. Uinta runs west-east.
Oh, cool.
Okay. A friend of the show and recruiter, Connor Velvin.
Yeah.
That's his favorite fish to catch is the cutthroat trout because it has like a red kind of thing that goes along
like a band on the, under their,
on
under
their
neck.
throat. Yeah. Their second beer was called Kings Peak Porter, named after the highest peak in Utah is Kings Peak at 13,000 feet, 13,528 feet.
That's a legit mountain.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Not a 14er, as they say,
No.
but it's real close.
That's more than a day hike, maybe. I mean, could you do it I guess if you got up early enough.
If you get up early, you could do it.
You could do that. So, Golden Spike Hefeweizen, named after the spike used to commemorate the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad.
We know about the golden spikes here in town, don't we?
Yep. And then there was one more, the D-U-B-H-E,
Dubby?
Dubby?
Okay.
Named after the Utah Centennial Star.
Huh.
I wasn't sure how to pronounce that.
Yeah, I don't either.
My apologies to
These
Utah.
are some of their original beer names.
These are their original beer names that they still brew today.
Okay.
So, 1996. So 3 years later, they installed their first bottling line. So they've been bottling since 96.
Yep.
They could cap 130 beers a minute at that point.
Well, that's pretty good.
Which, 96. I mean, that's right. 2000, so 4 years later, they started construction on a 26,000 square foot building. 2001, they became the first Utah company to be a 100% wind powered.
Yeah, I wrote that in my notes too.
That's pretty legit.
Yeah, that means you like the environment.
Yep. 2005, they launched 4+ Brewing, an offshoot brand focused on the elemental process of beer. Monkshine and Wildfire were their first 2 beers.
I've never heard of that.
I've never seen those. But apparently, it was important enough that they put it on their website. Now, whether or not they still produce those beers, maybe they're still just in Utah, who knows?
Yeah, maybe real regional.
Maybe. 2007, they installed 4 2,000... one more time. They installed 4 240 BBL. What's BBL? It's
Barrels.
Barrels, right? Indoor fermenter tanks. So 4 of them.
Okay.
So that increased their brewing capabilities to 30,000 gallons at one time.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of beer.
Yeah.
A lot. At once, not like for the year.
Yeah.
Like at one time.
One batch.
Yep. 2011, they installed solar panels for the first time for solar power. So not only wind, but they're solar powered as well. 2012, they landed on the top 50 craft beer. Here we go. Right? One more time. Landed on the top 50 craft breweries in the country and expanded to 34,000 square feet.
Does it have anywhere on your list about distribution?
I saw up to 2015, they were distributed in 34 states.
That's pretty good.
Right. I didn't see anything after that. I assume many more now.
Could be.
Because I've seen this beer a lot of different places.
Yeah.
I've actually mistaken this beer for like a southern, like Louisiana style, just because...
Of the bottle, right? The way that it looks.
Very similar, right?
Yeah.
Dolan's thinking of like Abita.
Abita.
Abita,
Yep.
yeah.
It's very similar.
And have we
to
never done an Abita?
that. We've never
don't
done
think so,
Abita.
no.
We've never done a Louisiana beer.
That's Abita.
Right. So
Well, we could.
We can get a Beta down the street.
Oh, Purple Haze.
Yeah.
I love Purple Haze.
Strawberry lager's my
Yeah.
jam. Okay, here's what I have for us a little bit. I wanted to talk about some of the other beers that they make currently that you didn't mention. One of them is called Birthday Suit, which I bought some for the swimming pool this year.
Oh, yeah.
It's a tart ale with blueberry and lemon. So if you like a Berliner Weiss style with blueberries,
Definitely.
awesome. They make another one that's called, it's a guava mojito, also Birthday Suit. So that's pretty good. Barrel-aged Baltic Porter, which is a Maibach, they call it,
Okay.
which is not a style we've done before. They have a Peppermint Patty Pastry Stout. These are like a limited edition. Probably we're not going to get it here, but you can get it there.
Right.
On their website, not something that you mentioned before. Of course, I checked out the merchandise because that's what I do. I wrote down 2 things that you can get. Actually, I just wrote down one thing that you can get there that I've never seen before.
Okay.
And it was called a Voile Strap, Voile. It's a 15-inch. And basically what it looked like to me was a belt, a small belt that had a buckle on it. And you could tighten it up. And you use it to like wrap your skis up so they don't come apart.
Oh.
Or it fit nicely around a 6-pack. And they're like, if you want to throw it in the river and tighten it up, cool off your beers when you're camping or hiking or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Use it for this, and it has the brewery logo on it and stuff. So I was like, okay, I've never seen that before.
Good call.
Pretty cool. The other thing on their website, featured friends. Did you notice that?
No.
So this was a thing. It was 3 different outdoor photographers that's their job. They take photos of the area,
Okay.
right? And they kind of featured their artwork on their beer website, which I thought was kind of cool. Then they have a thing called featured partners. So like non-profits and stuff that they work with. One is called Grassroots powder surfing.
Very ski,
right? So like snowboardy.
Right.
Utah Avalanche Center.
Okay.
And then the last one was Fish for Garbage, which is like people that go out to where you would normally go fishing.
Yeah.
And pick up trash instead of catching fish, clean up the area, make it nice for other people that go to the area.
Good call.
Those are companies that they work with or nonprofits that they help out, and they're featured prominently on the website, which I thought was pretty cool.
Right.
The Uinta Mountains, we talked about it for a little bit. What you said, I wrote down just a couple of the things that you can do there. They said it's a popular destination for fishing, hiking, backpacking, horseback riding, like horse trail riding, which I guess is different than just running as fast as you can on a horse, hunting, and snowshoeing. So kind of an all year long situation. If you're into the cold winter sports, they have that for you too. Some of the areas are designated wilderness inside the area of the snow-packed mountains and whatnot.
Okay.
Which means there's no roads. So the only thing they have is some 4x4 trails, like if you had a Jeep or whatever, or in the wintertime, it's like for snowmobiles.
Yeah.
So if you want to get into some of these places in here, you got to work for it.
Sweet.
You're not just rolling up, putting in park, getting out on the paved parking lot and walking down the hill.
Taking pictures of the family or whatever. And no.
Not in this place. The Uinta Mountains was established in 1984 as like a national park, so not that old.
No.
It's in the Ashley National Forest. The mountains themselves are over 600 million years old. That's pretty old.
Wow.
It's almost as old as the Spaten beer that we had last
Just
week.
about. Real close. There are 1,000 natural lakes in this mountain range.
1,000.
And there's 400 miles of streams.
Wow.
So this is why it's like a fishing paradise. Like, especially, I'm guessing fly fishing would be amazing in this area. 2.5 million visitors a year come to this area.
Okay.
And on their website, they have like a warning. Be careful of, right? So there's a few that I wrote down 3 of the ones that were interesting to me.
I could guess a couple.
All right, go ahead.
Bears.
Not on my list.
Oh, weird. Okay. Go ahead.
Blisters. Number 1. Be careful of blisters. Number 2, mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah.
And number 3, moose.
Oh, well.
They're like,
yes.
if you see a baby and a mama, do not get close. Do not walk between them. You will die.
I heard moose are pretty...
Yeah.
I mean,
like
if I was super tall like that, I would be too.
territorial and protective and all that sort of stuff.
I have seen, at least in the Rocky Mountains, I have seen a mom moose like come after people because they've gotten too close to the babies, right?
Yeah.
That is not a friendly situation at all.
No, and like, yeah, they're going to stomp you and maybe gore you. And
Well, to be fair, you're in their house.
oh, for sure.
Right?
That's why
So-
I always get mad when I see things like at Yellowstone. And it's like, oh, person chased by buffalo or bear because they like got within 5 feet of it and slapped its ass and took a picture.
Right, they're trying to take a selfie with
You're like,
it or something.
what do you think's going to happen?
It's the person's fault.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Always.
People ruin a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
But we make good beer too. So it's like trade-off, I guess.
I did.
I mean, but if you tried to hand a moose a beer, I think it'd still go the same way. So
Yeah, it doesn't know it's delicious.
it doesn't know.
It's
Yeah,
just-
We have to
be
work
fair.
on we have to like a broach
treaty,
that. Yeah.
a treaty,
Right.
Like
Right.
yeah,
Like, hey, if you see this in my hand, just tip it back and drink it like a dog or a horse can.
You could do that with like a raccoon. Like you could put a little container maybe out in your yard. It would come and drink a little bit of it, and then maybe.
yeah.
I bet a raccoon could drink a beer.
I'm sure they have.
Oh, without a
before.
doubt.
I bet you I could go on YouTube and find a video. I
mean,
might do that later.
Yeah.
Like my uncle, he's from the island, right? And he's talked about like monkeys stealing beers and
Oh yeah.
and they'll just drink them till they're drunk.
What was it? Was it a monkey or no? It might have been a pig. The pig stole a bunch of beers. This like true story. This is absolute true story. No, maybe
Was
it
it
was
camping?
Maybe it was. Yeah, it was.
Was the story
It's
about
got to be the
camping?
monkeys, right?
I think it was the monkeys, and then they tried to fight a pig or something. This is a true story. Like I'm not making this up.
yeah.
Some monkeys got drunk and fought a pig on a camping
Stole
trip.
a bunch of beers out of a cooler, drank them, and then tried to go fight a pig.
That sounds like every camping trip I've been on.
Yeah, I mean, it's true though. My uncle would talk about like going down to the beach on his island, and like sometimes there was a drunk monkey, and you could tell they were drunk by the way they were walking, by the way they were acting. Like he's like, it's very similar to
person hammered.
I've actually said that about Dolan multiple times. I'm like, I can tell he's drunk. Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe.
How it goes.
I don't know how we got here, but we did.
I did a little Uinta Mountains research
All
as
right.
well.
Hit it up.
Uinta, the name is derived from the Ute word
Yeah.
for you've, Y-O-O-V. This is clearly the phonetic spelling.
Okay.
You've, we two, meaning pine forest or pine tree.
Oh, okay. That
So,
makes sense if it's so high.
You've, we
Mountains,
two,
yeah.
kind of, so we Americanized it, I guess.
Sure.
So,
Because that's probably what it sounded like, yeah.
yeah. I love Rocky Mountain National Park.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's one of my favorite places to be in the world. And the Uinta Mountains are, like I've said, the east-west trending chain of mountains in the northeast part of Utah, extending slightly into southern Wyoming as a sub-range of the Rocky Mountains. They are unusual for being the highest range of contiguous United States running east-west, lying approximately 100 miles east of Salt Lake City.
Yeah, usually, I guess of Appalachian and Rockies, you think of that. Yeah, that's
Kind
true.
of up-down.
Huh.
These go left-right.
I don't even know of another range that does that off the top of my head.
Don't think I know another.
Did you ever go to them
either.
in Wyoming?
Nope.
Way out there?
Nope.
I think it's more on the western side of the state.
Yeah, I mean, the furthest west I've been in Wyoming is like, I don't know, Rock Springs, maybe.
Oh, okay.
And that's still the east side of Wyoming.
And quite honestly, if you just go a little way south, you're in the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there. So,
Huh.
yeah. The Uintas are home to Camp Steiner, the highest Boy Scout camp in the United States at 10,400 feet.
Dang, that's pretty good.
That's pretty sweet.
10,400, yeah.
And you go look up pictures. It looks pretty cool. If I were a Boy Scout,
That's where you'd want to go
I'd
do your
wanna go
thing,
stay
huh?
there. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what you would think of cabins and
Yeah.
lakes and stuff like that. I bet they've had quite a few roundups.
I always wondered what it would be like to be a Boy Scout in a state that had cool stuff.
Yeah.
Because like in Nebraska, like where are you gonna go hang out by a river?
You
maybe
learn how to make
Yeah,
fire.
a river.
You're not going on no
man-made
mountain
lake.
hikes. You're not
No.
doing any of that sort. You might get to a sand pit.
No. You make some derby cars.
You definitely do that.
Yeah.
I think you can do that anywhere, but
Oh, yeah.
you don't get to go hike on a mountain.
No.
But on the flip side, you also don't get lost. I hear
True.
that sometimes
Yeah, you never hear about like troops having to be rescued
in Nebraska. Not too
No.
much, no.
Unfortunately, no. Yeah, but that was my Uinta Mountains
Okay.
research. I just I want to find where they link up to the Rocky Mountains and then make go north and then make a left turn and go.
Across there and
West.
be there.
It'd be kind of fun.
Have you ever been to Salt Lake?
I have not. Have you?
I have been in the airport.
Oh, I've been,
See, that
I've
doesn't
been there.
count.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. I've been to Phoenix, Arizona
In the
airport.
Well,
I've never been to
yeah.
Phoenix, Arizona.
I have been
Doesn't count.
to the Salt Lake, the Great Salt Lake.
Have
and
you?
It's pretty crazy weird. It's like a different planet, just flat as far as you can see, dry, but it's all super salty. So there's this white, like crystallized growths everywhere. Almost looks like coral. It's weird.
Bizarre.
Yeah, very strange.
Well, a couple weeks ago, we talked about the Salt Flats,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, right outside of there. So I would love to see that.
It's worth it once, and then you're pretty much good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to say you saw it. All right. Well, the next one I have for us is Dogfish Head. Mm-hmm. And the research I did with this, we're going to get into the spooky part, the Halloweenish of this episode, right? When I was a kid, we've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. I was raised by my mom, and she was fairly protective of the content we consumed.
Okay.
And, had they had an iPad or an iPhone back then, I would not have had one. We were raised on the Disney Channel. So about the scariest movie I ever saw was called Mr. Boogedy.
Nice.
So I haven't seen this movie that I did research on, but I'm going to guess you have. You probably haven't.
Okay.
It's called Pumpkinhead.
Oh, I love Pumpkinhead. It was such bad.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Okay, so you said Pumpkinhead, and an image came to me.
Okay.
But I have to double check if it's
All right,
the right one.
you do that.
Okay.
I remember
I'll get the beer ready.
previews because the preview had like just the really poor animation, like tree animation of like a tree like grabbing a person. Like I absolutely
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So
Not to be confused with Leprechaun.
no,
We
talked about that.
Yes.
Stan Winston, know that name?
Absolutely.
Well, this was his directorial debut, was
Oh.
Pumpkinhead. He had been making creatures and monsters for years and years, and he finally got his chance to make a monster movie.
Arguably the like father of that is not Pumpkinhead.
That's not Pumpkinhead.
That is not Pumpkinhead.
So this is what came to my
That's
head.
Return of Oz right there. Return of Oz with Farizia Balk,
Okay.
Yeah.
every 90s kid's crush.
Yeah,
Like goth girls.
Stan Winston is like every monster movie, like modern monster movie you've seen.
Well, guess what? I got a list of the stuff he's made.
Yes.
Not always monster stuff, but it usually pretty close.
Okay.
Okay, can I just say the bottle is so cool. The art on there is so cool.
And that's why I thought of it, because when I saw the pumpkin guy, I was like, oh, pumpkin head. We're going to do that.
This is cool.
Yeah. I'll tell you, my favorite part are the X-ray glasses that the Pumpkinhead guy is wearing.
Which you could get out of the comic book back in the
Absolutely.
day. Not sure why there's a jaw just hanging out over here, but it is.
It's fun.
You know, whatever.
Who cares?
You can also see his insides. It's kind of like Slim Goodbody. Remember that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wearing the bodysuit.
With the big old fro.
Yeah.
Haven't thought about him in a while.
It's kind of cool because, you know, he's got the X-ray glasses on, but like you look at his shirt, you can see right through his shirt.
Yeah. It's like we have the X-ray glasses.
Yeah.
There's almost like and this is super nerdy, like pre-comic code horror comic look to like his hands.
Yeah.
And the body
yeah.
kind of, there's a whole group of comic book collectors out there that collect horror comics from like the 50s. That's a very similar look to it.
Huh.
Yeah.
This beer is different than the last one we had because this is technically a brown ale with pumpkin spices.
It says it right on the label. Yeah.
Right. So it's not
Still
not like we had before.
7% still.
It is 7%. And they also have an embossed bottle. So they have a little raised up
The logo.
which is on your shoe, by the way.
Oh, we'll get into that.
All right, we'll get into that. Let's talk about Stan. Normally we're talking about Stan. We're talking about Stan Lee.
Stan Winston still had
Stan Winston.
Like, he put his stamp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here we go. Some of the things he created or movies he was involved with. The Thing.
Yeah.
Original Terminator.
Yes.
Ghoulies.
Oh, I loved Ghoulies.
Aliens. He won an Oscar for that.
He took the H.R. Geiger kind of the drawings
Yeah.
and made them real.
Yes. Which was hard to do.
Absolutely.
Monster Squad. Which is a movie I've never seen. And I want to show my kid it, but I asked my friends and they're like, he's probably too young.
It's a bit young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's on not even 6.
yeah.
Edward Scissorhands.
Yes.
Terminator 2. Mm-hmm. He won an Oscar for that one.
I mean, he created the T-2000?
Yeah, whatever it was, the melting cop.
Correct.
The Patrick guy, whatever his name was.
Jason Patrick? That's not right. That's not right.
Not the guy from Filter, but his
No,
brother.
yeah.
Jurassic Park
Yep.
won an Oscar. Lake Placid.
Okay, speaking of Jurassic Park, if you haven't watched the film, the movies that made us right now on, so the battle between Stan Winston and the computer graphics guys is fascinating.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Lake Placid?
With the big shark.
No.
Was it a shark? I thought.
The platypus.
It's not a platypus.
The Loch Ness
It was an alligator.
Oh,
alligator.
that's right.
And Betty White was in it. Y'all from the Golden Girls. So that's why I know that one. Arnold Schwarzenegger feature End of Days. Remember that around 99?
I remember
Not a
the
great
name,
movie.
Yeah.
AI. With Haley Joel Osment and the British dude. Why can't I think of his name?
Not Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch.
No, not him.
I don't know. No.
He's in a lot of stuff. Whatever.
Yeah.
Dolan, drop it in right here. Oh, I can't think of his name. Jude Law. It's Jude Law. Everybody, Jude Law.
Sure.
Constantine. Keanu Reeves movie.
Yeah.
Some movie called Iron Man.
Yeah, he had something to do with that.
Never heard of it.
And then this other one, Avatar. 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 He was involved with Avatar.
2 is supposed to be coming out soon, right?
No one
Allegedly.
cares. It's been 20 years. Nobody cares.
20 years?
Hasn't it?
I don't know.
When was Avatar?
I mean, let's see.
Ask the machine.
I'm going to ask the Google.
It had to be 10 years, not 20. It's got to be like
What if it's 20 years, dude?
2011, 2012.
20?
I don't know. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Because I remember being...
A child in the movie theater.
No. So...
2009.
9. Okay, so 10 years. 12 years.
13 years.
13
That's
years.
how it comes out. That's
Again,
a long time.
no one cares.
I
Then
do.
again, we'll go watch Terminator movies again and again and
Sure.
again and again.
Okay. I care.
Okay.
I'm
Dolan
just going to
cares.
leave it there. I care.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Has anybody tried this yet?
I love it.
No.
I actually
What's
think
different?
I'm going to go for it right now.
it's less spice, pumpkin spice.
Okay.
Maybe a little more brown ale comes through, kind of shines through.
Yeah.
I do like it a lot.
Yeah, it's more pumpkin at the end versus the other one was pumpkin all the way through.
It was just like pumpkin
Punch.
bam.
Yeah.
You do get a lot of nutmeg or
Yeah.
cinnamon.
Definitely, which I like.
I think more nutmeg than anything.
Nutmeg.
Yep.
In Pumpkinhead, the star of the movie and the guy that plays Pumpkinhead, Lance Henriksen,
Yes.
famous actor. He's in a lot
Yeah,
of stuff.
he's been in a lot of stuff.
So I wrote a list of things he's been in.
Okay.
And you can tell me whatever you've seen about it or whatever. But Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh.
Al Pacino movie,
The
right?
first one, right?
Yes.
And there was some bit of controversy around that because that was like 70?
76 around there, 75.
And weren't they a gay couple?
I think so.
And that was like super huge controversy just around that. Like, who cares? It was so kind of just understated, but then they were right.
It wasn't part of it wasn't like the plot driving part of the
No.
movie. It just
Right.
happened to be in there.
But that's when people grabbed onto like they're stupid. Movie's fantastic, and that's what you're grabbing onto.
This movie called Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
I love that movie. Yep, exactly. That's exactly
You could
right.
drop that right in there,
dude. That was good.
That was pretty close.
Aliens, which we talked about.
Yep, mhm.
So he worked with this guy before. The Right Stuff, space movie, right?
Yep.
About the first astronauts or whatever.
Yes. Yep.
The Terminator. He was in the original Terminator.
Yes.
This show, not X-Files, but the other one from Chris Carter called Millennium. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. Mm-hmm.
He was in that. He played, this is more for Dolan, Kerchak, Tarzan's gorilla dad in Tarzan animated movie from Disney. And then he did some voiceover. He's kind of a voiceover guy for movies and video games. Mm-hmm. He plays Lockdown on Transformers.
Oh.
So any version of that.
Okay.
Call of Duty, Alien versus Predator. There's a game of that.
Weird. Okay.
Does that.
I didn't know that.
And then he actually has a comic book with Dark Horse.
Oh.
It's called To Hell You Ride.
To
To
you
Hell
ride.
You Ride.
To hell you ride.
Yeah, so kind of like that.
I'm embarrassed. I don't know that.
I don't know either. But here's like the plot of the movie. This is as good. This is just like a sentence. I'm just going to tell you this is what it's about. A guy's son gets killed. So Lance Henriksen's son.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to bring him back.
Okay.
So he meets this witch. And she's like, all right, I can do it, but it's going to cost you something. And then the son becomes the monster, Pumpkinhead.
Well,
And one other famous person in the movie,
mm-hmm.
now a host of Jeopardy,
Oh,
Mayim Bialik.
really?
She played someone called Christine Wallace.
Like Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like Blossom.
Oh,
She was in this movie as a kid. They made 3 sequels.
that's
to Pumpkinhead.
That's unfortunate.
There is a reboot allegedly in the works.
No.
With the Saw producer.
Oh boy.
So like a Blumhouse type deal. Guess what else? There's a comic book about Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead,
Also
yeah.
Dark Horse. Pumpkinhead, Rites of Exorcism. Then there was a video game. It sold nothing.
Yeah.
It was in 95. It was called Blood Wings, Pumpkinhead's Revenge.
Oh.
And they also made a model kit so you could build your own Pumpkinhead guy.
What console would that have been? That game? If Phil was here, he would know.
Yeah, he would know. PlayStation?
95? Yeah, that probably would have been PlayStation.
Around there, the first gen of that?
Yeah.
Or Xbox?
PlayStation?
Oh boy, no.
95?
No, yeah, that'd have been pre-PlayStation.
Yeah,
Super
pre-PlayStation.
Nintendo?
It would have been maybe Sega.
Sega Genesis?
Like Dreamcast, maybe.
Oh, I had a
Sega
Dreamcast. That was great.
Genesis.
It would have been after Genesis and before PlayStation.
Yeah, because PlayStation was like 2001, 2002.
Watch, it's like Atari Jaguar or something.
Yeah, something crazy.
I'm gonna call Phil after this and find out.
Yeah,
And
he might
find
know.
out.
He might know about Blood Wings, Pumpkin's Revenge.
He'd be like,
Pumpkinhead.
"Oh man, if you could find that still in the box, it'd be worth like $120."
Like, who? Why? No, nobody has that.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, so that's a research on a movie I've never seen. Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead.
Yep.
I want to take you on a complete left turn.
All right, let's do it.
All right. I want to talk about Dogfish Head,
Yeah.
the brewery itself.
Have we ever done Dogfish Head? Did we do the Goza?
We've never done Sequench.
We've never
No.
done Dogfish Head at all.
No.
Which is surprising because the Sequench ale's everywhere.
Yeah.
It is the #1 selling sour beer in the United States right now.
Is this a Delaware beer?
It is
Yeah.
a Delaware. It is our first Delaware beer.
Awesome.
Yes. Founded in 1995 by Sam Calagione.
Yeah.
Calagione. Sam. We're just going to call him Sam.
Sam. Sounds Italian.
Maybe. I don't know. The brewery name comes from Dogfish Head, Maine, where he spent his summers as a kid. There's actually a Dogfish
okay. I
Head,
didn't know that.
Maine.
Huh.
And I looked it up. It looks like a little Maine town, a little quaint town.
The town is called Dogfish Head?
Dogfish Head. Dogfish.
You didn't go
Head.
there, did you?
No.
Never been there. No. 1995, they were producing 10 gallons of beer per day. So
That's not very much.
Not
That's
very
like
much.
what a home brewer can
Yeah,
do.
but 95, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's early on. By 2018, they were producing 15,000 gallons.
Okay.
15,000 gallons per day.
So they cranked it up a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yep. They were the first brew pub in Delaware.
Yeah.
The very first one. Now, Delaware's not very big.
No,
To be
I can't
fair.
imagine there's hardly any still.
No. They've been canning their beer for 25 years. So they've been around for a minute.
It's
Now-
weird, yeah, because like Sequench you can get in the tall can,
Yep.
in the 12-ounce can. I've never seen a bottle, but this one was in the bottle.
This is in the bottle. But yeah, they have canned quite a few of their beers. May of 2019, they were purchased by Boston Beer Company. Well, they merged.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
So they still exist. And I guess they were friendly for years.
Yeah.
So as much as they appreciated each other, right?
Okay.
East Coast Brewers.
Sure.
Both very large, been around for a long time.
Yeah,
They were
influential for sure.
Yeah, they were friendlies.
Okay.
And so Boston Beer Company purchased them in 2019, but the deal was like they kept everything. They kept their logo, they kept their name, they kept their brand, they kept their everything.
So what's the benefit?
Well, I mean, it's money, distribution.
Yeah.
They didn't necessarily have the distribution before the Boston Beer Company had.
Yeah, I suppose.
So now distribution is much better for them. So,
Okay.
yeah. And I think part of it too was the fact that they had very established brands, even though they're a little maybe more, so their logo, their slogan is off-centered ales for off-centered people.
Yeah.
Right. So they were kind of maybe the I wouldn't say opposite, but they were different from Boston Beer Company.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Lager stouts, whatever.
They have hibiscus beers and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So they complemented each other really, really well.
Yeah.
It's not like Sam Adams bought themselves, right? You see breweries sometimes buy other breweries where maybe you're like, I don't understand that because you have a lager, you have a stout, you have a, or what they bought themselves.
Yeah.
This merger kind of complemented each one of them separately.
I always feel like Sam Adams is kind of more of a mainstream, right? And these guys are probably not that, so that makes sense, I guess.
Right. So in 2019, so 2 years ago?
Yeah.
3 years. Oh my gosh, 3 years ago, right?
Well, getting close.
Well, getting close. They were the very first brewery to do a collaboration with a shoe company.
Is there more than one
collaboration
with shoe companies?
Another one just happened, and my wife's cousin sent it to me. There's a walking shoe. Gosh darn it! And I'll look it up later. That did a collab with another brewery as well, a Michigan brewery, and I can't remember which one it is.
Founders?
It is not Founders. Well, maybe I'll look it up.
Okay.
It was the very first brewery shoe company collaboration. So with Merrell. Merrell is a hiking shoe.
Okay.
Okay. And that was the shoe you referred to.
Yes. That's what you got on
earlier today, right? The
those are legit.
I love these shoes. My wife bought these for me 2 years ago for Christmas.
Where did she find them?
I ordered them off the website.
Yeah.
She's like, these are horrendous. They are so ugly.
Yeah.
And to be fair, they are pretty ugly.
They're so ugly. They're great.
Green and weird.
It looks like the can.
It looks exactly like the can.
Yeah.
And if you look at it,
let me take a look.
It actually says on the toes,
oh yeah,
off-centered trails for off-centered people,
which is real close to the logo they had or their slogan.
Close to their slogan.
Yeah.
Right. So
do you wear those when you go hiking and stuff?
I have worn these hiking more times than I can count.
Nice.
They are technically they're trail running shoes.
Yeah, who's running?
I'm only running if there's a bear chasing me.
I mean, or the brewery's open.
Right.
Get to the door.
Well, and we know that's the trick that my wife plays on me. Okay, go hiking, and now we get to go to a brewery kind of thing.
That was smart. She bought you the shoes.
She's smart. Yeah, she really is. So here's what they post. This is directly from Sam.
Okay.
Partnering with Merrell, leaders in active lifestyle footwear in the active lifestyle footwear category. Somebody wrote this for him. Probably.
Sure.
Yeah. To release this sweet, sea-quenched theme shoe is a great reminder to folks everywhere that you can have a beer and drink it too. Maintaining an active lifestyle is all about balance. Go for a trail run, then reward yourself with a cold can of sea-quench ale.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I guess it makes sense for that because it's replenishing the salt.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's low ABV.
Yep.
Probably low calories.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you get to go outside and do your thing.
And you go do your thing or whatever. Yeah. Which happens a lot in the mountains. There's a number of breweries that I follow in Colorado where they are very active, where they will organize as much as maybe breweries here will organize like
bike
rides and things. Runs. They will go do trails.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they'll say, okay, meet at the brewery at 8 a.m., which is way before the brewery opens.
Yeah. We
will carpool together to X trail. We will walk this trail or run, whatever you want to do. Carpool back to the brewery.
And have a beer.
And have beers. And that's how you start your day.
Yeah,
right. That's how you start your Saturday or whatever.
I've always been interested with this brewery because they make crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. And they had some of the best like music, beer collab stuff. You know, like some of the labels and stuff I collected for a long time. They did Bitches Brew, the Miles Davis beer.
Oh.
They had one with, they do a Flaming Lips beer every year.
That's right. Yes.
So it's been on my radar. Mm-hmm. But they have, as far as I know, a hotel. Like on their, you can like stay there at their, you got it. Okay.
The Dogfish Inn.
Oh, okay.
Look
at that setup.
All right. A 16 room. Like inn where you can go stay.
Can you imagine having a bachelor party at that place?
I just want to go stay there.
I just want to too.
Right.
Tell me about it.
In Lewes, Delaware, Lewes, Lewes,
Yeah.
Delaware. Beer/brewery themed hotel situated along the Lewes Rehoboth, Rehoboth, Rehoboth.
Sure.
Maybe, I don't know.
Must be a river.
I'm so sorry, East Coasters, and we're not. We're clearly we're Midwesterners.
Yeah.
The Dogfish Inn acts as an off-centered base camp for beer lovers and adventure seekers alike. There is a difference. In parentheses. Holding true to Dogfish Head's fashion, you'll find an offbeat approach to style, quality, and craft through each of our 16 rooms. And if you look, each of those rooms it looks cool.
Really?
Just super cool.
Doesn't it have like a bunch of trees?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
It reminds me, if you are from the Midwest, there's a little bit of it that reminds me of Nebraska City, kind of the
the Arbor Day Lodge.
Exactly.
Or
Yeah. Kind of that sort of thing where it's kind of nestled in where you could go hiking and you could pick apples or or whatever. Like there's any number of things you could do there.
And this place is on site at the brewery?
Yes. Well, there's a brewery, there's a tap house on site. Oh. So it sounds like they had the opportunity to purchase this place or they built it themselves. Who knows? I don't know. The TripAdvisor stuff is super fun on that. It's pretty interesting.
There's only one other place that I know of, and that's in Nebraska, out west.
Okay.
And it's a brewery, and you can rent. It's basically like a bunkhouse, like what you would see like in the old times, right? So it's just a big long building with a bunch of beds in it.
Oh.
And you can rent that out and go to the brewery. It might be Pals, maybe.
Oh.
It's somebody out west, and it books up real fast, which I assume this hotel would be booked all the time.
I pretended like I was going to go out there and try to book a room, and it didn't look like there was anything available until the spring.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Which, okay, yes.
Yeah.
So, I would like to do it. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Maybe another one of those bucket list things.
Mm-hmm, right. There'd have to be other things to do there, because if I told my wife, hey, we're going to go to...
We're going to fly to Delaware. And we're going to stay at a brewery hotel.
Themed hotel. She'd be like,
no. Well, that's a boys' trip.
Reminds me, everything ties back to The Simpsons for me in my head. There was an episode of The Simpsons where Homer says, I can't remember why it built up to this, but Homer says, the Simpsons are going to Delaware. And Lisa goes, I want to go to the screen door factory.
Oh, boy.
And yeah, there's not a whole lot to do in Delaware.
No.
Probably.
Remember when he worked at the box factory? When they went to tour there? We're going to go to the cardboard box factory. My father-in-law works at a box factory. So how exciting is that?
An actual box factory where they make boxes.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why he has beers with me, I guess.
I guess.
You have to when you work there. Yeesh.
That's important.
All right, which of the pumpkin beers did you like the best?
Uinta. The Uinta pumpkin beer.
It depends on what you're looking for. If you want everyday drinker, I want pumpkin ale from Dogfish Head.
Sure.
If I'm specifically looking for a pumpkin beer, I will go with Uinta.
Which one feels better in your hand?
Well,
because they're different styles, bottle-wise. They both have the embossed glass on the top.
The Uinta feels better. It's just a different...
I agree.
It's a wider bottle.
Yeah.
You don't got to hold on to it as tightly.
There's a uniqueness to it. Oh, Dolan's thinking from like multiple pumpkin beers.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get his arm hurt or his wrist.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, you got to think about that stuff, I guess.
Yeah. All right, so I alluded to it. I did the TripAdvisor.
Yes, let's hear it.
We'll do Dogfish Head Inn first.
Okay.
Because I thought you can go to Dogfish Head. They have a number of different locations in Rehoboth. If I'm pronouncing this wrong.
I'm guessing you are, but
Rehoboth.
Whatever.
Rehoboth. Sorry, East Coasters again. I'm so sorry. And Milton, Delaware. They have multiple locations.
Oh, Milton.
Okay. Yes. TripAdvisor 4.5 out of 5 on 164 reviews for the Dogfish Head Inn. It says charming and fun. The nights at the fire pit are the icing on the cake at this charming retro hotel. The rooms are awesomely decorated, the staff is extremely friendly, and the location is ideal. I'm a fan of anything Dogfish Head, so this was a perfect 2-night getaway for the wife and I. Now, here's the best part of it. They respond to virtually every one of their TripAdvisor reviews.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So they responded, the DFH innkeeper at Dogfish Head. So they actually have their own persona.
Nice.
Which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Responded and said, the fire pit is one of our favorite spots to end the day as well. We are happy you are able to find it as well as imbibe, yeah, that's drink. There we go. In some good beers and better fellowship. Thanks for the great review, and thanks for supporting independent craft beer and independent hotels. Cheers.
Nice.
Fun. Yeah.
So it makes you want to make a review, I guess. I mean, it's always fun when you're on tap and you say something, the brewery cheerses you or whatever.
Gives you the cheers, gives you the toast.
It doesn't even have to be a great review.
Doesn't matter.
They're just happy you're drinking their stuff.
I had a brewery toast my 2.75 one time.
Really?
Yeah. And I think, to be fair, I said, not my style or whatever.
Okay.
But they gave me the toast.
Well, at least you tried it.
2.75 is technically above average.
That's
right?
true. Dolan's right, but I'm right, and you're right. We're all right. There's no rules on
It's
Untappd.
Subjective. It's all subjective. Yeah.
Uinta.
Okay. I feel like this is... Wait, whoa. Oh, okay.
I'm going back.
We went to hotel, then beer, then beer. Okay,
Yep.
gotcha.
Going back to Uinta. Here's, in parentheses, this is... I found one of the better reviews.
Okay.
But in parentheses I wrote, here's what I've learned from TripAdvisor.
Yeah.
Okay? People have no patience at all.
Yeah, that's true in general, yeah.
Nor do they have any understanding. If it isn't perfect or catered exactly to them, they're
upset about
pissed.
it. Yeah.
Right. They get mad. It's sad that people think it's okay to act like this. So a lot of the reviews for Uinta were not awesome.
Huh.
Not awesome. However, they still got a 4 out of 5.
Well, that means it's great.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so what were the complaints?
No, it was just slow service.
It took too long.
There's actually one that said they didn't have enough flavor to their beers, which
No.
just get out of here.
No, they've been around that long. They know what they're doing.
Right.
I was going to say, was it too many flavored beers again?
Back to beet rice.
Yeah.
Here's one I clipped out. It just said fantastic. Best beer in Utah. Awesome bartender. Jesus in parentheses. I'm sure that's Jesus, but
or
Jesus
maybe
might have been
like Jesus.
He might have been. I don't know. But his name was Jesus.
Or he was just the savior of that day because he kept bringing him beers.
That's what I want to believe there. Yes. And a perfect place to post up for drinks. Really a great way to end a vacation. That's what
sounds good, yeah.
That is what I want right there. So that dude hit it on the head. That was back in 2019. So unfortunately. So yeah.
So do we have Untappd scores for these beers?
I didn't look them up because I didn't know what beers we
exactly.
were doing.
Yeah, sure.
You may look them up real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's look them up. Here we go.
So I know for a fact Pumpkin Ale is I guess it's an annual release for them.
Okay.
The logos change every year, or the label, I should say. Uinta I've never had before, really. So when I found it this year, I was pretty stoked.
This would be the time to find it.
What's your rating on it then? What would I say? Yeah, well, ranking, not rating, ranking.
Oh, Uinta is the winner for me out of these two. Just because it's more pumpkin-y beer.
I'm going to choose Dogfish Head.
Yeah.
1 for the beer and 2 for the label.
It's more fun.
Label's cool, yeah.
Not that Uinta's not bad. If you were to give me this, let's say we're waiting for trick-or-treaters.
Sure.
And you hand me this beer, I would be happy as a clam.
Well, if you come to the Storm Chaser neighborhood, I'll hand you one. There we go. Trick-or-treat day.
50,000 check-ins on the Uinta beer.
That's a few.
It's a chunk.
But it's not 150.
No.
Okay.
What do you think here?
Dolan, what do you say?
368.
That's what I was going to say. All right. I'll go 377.
3.39.
Ooh.
Low.
What?
Interesting.
Low.
I mean,
Wait a
pumpkin.
minute.
Okay.
Let me check my notes.
Maybe we.
Oh
have-
yeah, silver medal winner, 3.3. No, get out of here.
Get out of here.
Well, I was
No.
gonna say maybe we need to. Pumpkin beers always seem to have this. I don't know. I don't want to call it a stereotype, but maybe negative connotation.
They're poo-pooed.
They're poo-pooed. Yeah, there
Yeah,
you
but
go.
you're not rating them if you're not drinking it. I don't know.
True.
Especially when you dump one on your MacBook.
But did you take it and sip it off them? Well, you already had that one, I guess.
Could have, I suppose. I was concerned about being
You're
electrocuted.
mad. Yeah, I get it.
But I mean, maybe that's why they're rated so low.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. All right.
it was better than that. Let's agree
Way
with that.
better than that.
Yeah.
Pumpkin Ale
Yeah.
from Dogfish Head, 190,000 check-ins.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 3, 4, 7.
Oh, my goodness. That's the ranking you think it's going to be? Oh, he's probably not far off. 3.62.
3.75,
Oh,
right? Up there.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
about where
Okay.
I would put it, actually.
Brian, you've checked this
Yeah.
beer in twice.
Yeah, different versions.
Let's see. You've had October 5th of 2013.
Ooh, that's an OG.
You checked this in. Good Husker game. Now chilling in the hotel reading the new Stephen King book.
I was in San Francisco.
Oh.
I was in San Francisco.
West
that
San
time.
Francisco.
Wow.
You're right.
God, look at me. Woo! Dude, that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
How could I remember that? I don't know.
You also checked it in October of 2013
Okay.
at a 4.5.
Oh. So I was in that. The book was the sequel to The Shining.
Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, Doctor Sleep. That's what I was reading.
Which was
that time.
eh.
The book was good.
Eh.
I never saw the movie.
The movie was terrible. Don't
That's
watch
what I
it.
kinda
Don't.
Go watch Pumpkinhead instead.
All right. Next week, we are going to cling to Oktoberfest with every fiber of
We are?
being that
We're going back?
We're going to go right back. We're going to go for one more. I know it's November.
Huh.
I can't let it go. I
I
can't
knew
let it
that
go.
about you.
And it will
I
make.
can't quit you, Oktoberfest.
I can't quit you. it will make absolute sense once you hear the name of the beer. It'll make absolute sense. But I can
Okay.
tell you it's an Oktoberfest, and there's bonus beers, including a Munich Dunkel and a Czech Lager.
Well, since it's in November,
Yeah,
that means we're probably breaking all the rules of the, how do you pronounce it? The
the
Rhine
Reinheskabat.
Heskabot?
Yeah, screw that.
those
they can't
rules,
touch us here.
Those rules
Throw
don't
those
apply
away?
here. They don't
Okay.
apply here.
Okay.
We're out of
We
here.
can
with
we can
that.
appreciate the rules. But we can break the rules if we
Yeah.
want to. So,
If we know the rules, we can break them.
Cool.
all right, fellas. Happy Halloween. We're not
Yes.
going anywhere for
Let's
a
get
while.
spooky.
Trick or treat.
Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.